wicked, far too crooked. That is the frequent comment I hear. Too one-sided, underhanded, can't be trusted. This is the opinion, yes again. For their own abuses, they keep making excuses. Housing crack up over. They unleash the lawyer, set up an inquiry just to get Kid Rowley. But they wouldn't sue the false paper screw. I don't need to close to tell them go. Hurry, pack up your bundle now. Stop fooling the people. The country taking a beating. So me plea are repeating. Go. They're like a natural disaster. Now. 10 times worse than Ebola. Like a dog with fleas and tongue on their knees. And I'm begging, now we enacted one week. From the side to the country, streets turn into rivers, then into seas. Is why I'm singing, now this is my humble petition. Another date for election, go now, please. Accidental, detrimental, could be lethal. Are you willing to take that chance? Much too seedy, they too greedy, eyes too beady. Honeymoon end before the romance. We expect corruption, but now without check or interruption. That a few might stuff the pocket, but not racket by the pocket. From the constant comments, we get no recess. Before things fall apart and the riot starts. Even in chutney, I'll tell them go. Make it sooner than later. To protect the future, please. For the sake of we children and the next generation. Go. To safeguard our image. Before Griffith cause more damage. Like a dog with fleas and tongue on the knees. And I'm begging, go now. They try to stick me with rage me. They have more trick than Houdini. Streams turn into rivers, then into seas. Is why I'm singing. Please, Mrs. Kamla. Take Munila and Sharma. Go now, please.
91, you are the real boss.
Evening, everyone. Better late than ever. We here. Good afternoon, Devon.
Good afternoon, Master.
Igwe.
Igwe.
We there, yo.
Yeah, man.
Independent talk for Sunday, the 3rd December 2023. Grenada is my constituency. Real FM is my parliament. And with the people's spokesperson. We always blessed and protected by the ancient of this. Devon, we here for the purpose of giving people information and facts. What they do with it is a matter entirely for them. Where shame is absent, anything could happen because they have more trick than Houdini. That's why they could talk about the 200, the 500, and the 5,000 there. We're here to make those that are comfortable with this nonsense the NDC is doing very uncomfortable. And to those who are uncomfortable with the action of the NDC, we'll make them comfortable with information, Devon. So, Devon, we have some things to unpack today. We don't know how far we will get. We have to touch Andy Williams.
Yes.
We have to touch Deacon Mitchell because we see a photo pervading social media. We stand up by a male weed tree. We don't know if it's a Photoshop photo or not, but we have to ask some questions because shatters on the street want to know. We might think a little about the budget. And the day in New York telling people in the diaspora, come down and register. So we telling the NNP and them up there, come down and register too.
Yeah,
we don't letting them get away. I saw the fella say, bar him, hold him. So we unpack those things today. And Devon, we have a clip in particular with the Prime Minister saying all who messing outside, the government do help in them. You go play the clip, you go wonder if this man is serious. They see how messing outside gates. The government won't help them. But as usual, we go do like a Sunday peace there, man. So bear with me. Silent week, holy week. 1 week. After 1 week, the NDC government has not uttered a word to clear the air on the embarrassment concerning the Samoa agreement there, man. The high and mighty Sir Deacon Mitchell has repeatedly categorized Grenadians as less than smart, pursuing his policy of need to know basis. The Grenadian people are anxiously awaiting the biggest explanation of the century as to how the Prime Minister and the Foreign Affairs Minister was unaware that the Samoa agreement was already signed 6 hours while they were cutting the neck, saying that they have not read, much less signed, hours after Ambassador Raphael Joseph was seen smiling, pen in hand, in Belgium. Expect a twisted, well-orchestrated lie by Deacon, just as one he gave in the defense of faux pas in St. Lucia. The question is, who the hell is the Prime Minister to determine that action performed on behalf of the people should not be reported? What he fails to understand is that these continuous missteps and attempt to censor information that should rightfully be made public is just giving further credence to program like this. Independent Talk, the extension on Target Political Wednesdays, Talking Point, Classroom, and Simon Says. And the Boss, and the many other programs to come soon, whether he likes it or not, the people's voice must be heard. So we can see down there. The latest mess coming from the Prime Minister's mouth is that the government will not assist homeowners with pit latrines to fix the house, line up their clip gates, because they'll say we line on it. Showing how out of touch he is. For all you know, this narrative came straight from AI. Because AI don't know what people are trying to do. You know. Our beloved Prime Minister continued to sadly country with paying rent for a posh house instead of using the one provided for the office of the head of state, head of government rather. According to his surrogate, River Road and Darbo are too low class for the PM to overlook. The impending queue coming in a few dollars here and there for the Imani after they reduced the subsistence of some and smartly fired the rest. The hope is that the seniors will get back the monetary retroactive, otherwise it's simple stopping and restarting an NNP initiative. Everything will be exposed in a mammoth increase in the salary to ministers on top of the $2,000 corruption allowance they took in the first few weeks in office, while the lack of medication remains a mystery in our hospitals, therefore. If they transform anything over the next 3.5 years, it will be their pockets with their $14,000+ check. They are proving that they have belly and that they have guts, according to the black and white painter, Honorable Andy Williams. Grenadians, stay woke, therefore. Over to you, Devon.
Blessed afternoon to all our viewers and our listeners on all the different platforms. It's a pleasure being here together with Master Carl and the Igwe. Independent Talk. So much to talk about, but as a people, we have to continue to be focused on what is important. And one of the most important issues that is torturing us as a people is the honesty, the integrity of our government. We have seen over the last couple of months that the group of politicians that we have entrusted power to through the democratic process has disappointed us over and over and over by lying, being deceitful to the people that they're supposed to respect. And as we continue this program today, we will show to you, we will prove to you the incompetence of these guys, the worthlessness, the vindictiveness of this group of politicians who have set out to ruin Grenada, in my view. They have no standards when it comes to the values of our people. Discrimination is the order of the day. Our poor people continue to suffer, and we will show you in today's program, right, the kind of mamagism that these politicians are playing with the people's mind. It is so, it is so not good to have a group of guys who the country put confidence in, right? A young bunch of politicians. But we warned them, we warned the nation that yes, not everything that glitter is gold. And today we are seeing the fruits, right, that was planted in June 2022. So as we go along this program today, we will continue to bring the facts, to enlighten you, to help educate you, to bring you the information that you need to make decisions as we move forward in this country. Master Carl?
Hey! Igwe, by what has gripped my attention is somebody say good afternoon, Master Carl. I have to speak to you concerning our nurse and health clinic. A baby life was lost on Monday, 27th November. We stop at Victoria, the nurse say go to Guav. We reach Guav, our water broke since in Victoria, the nurse say go to Grand Rai. Like sending the full father. And the woman in pain, no help. The baby died on our way as we approach Happy Hill Medical Center. The nurse in Grand Rai says she don't put in she hand in that just to save the baby life. What's going on in this country? Igwe. And to add insult to injury, Igwe, you have a clip for me.
You have it.
Yes, because we doesn't come here and say things about them what is not true.
Video.
I want to say, Mr. Speaker, just finally to speak to a concern raised by the member for St. Mark, that in fact going forward, this administration does not intend to embark upon home repairs or home building programs that do not have bathrooms and toilets affixed.
Devon, you heard the Prime Minister.
Yes, in his words.
Come, he say something.
Well, it clearly just reiterates and strengthens the point that what we're saying, that we have a Prime Minister that does not care about the average person. No, he's telling us that persons who have homes at this point in time but does not have toilet and bathroom fixed to it, government will not assist. So what they're trying to, it's Master Carl, you go ahead, because something I might just say something I don't.
He will simply put the guy don't care. But every time This government get in a jam, Devon. They try to put some money
In the front.
in front. So in 2 years, the ministers getting 2 increase. The corruption allowance of 2,000 and now chatters on the street say another 5,000. But listen this. Listen this, and I want Igwe for you to line up the clip with the Prime Minister inform the nation that the World Bank say if you own it under 650 and how if the NNPD care, you don't make it 650. I want people to hear because it's $200 they're talking about is simply not enough, Devon.
It's not enough.
After the insult of taking away 150, and not only that, and the purging of the lease
That
by
is
taking
significant.
out who they perceive
Hundreds of
to be
persons.
NNP
Hundreds of persons.
and padding the lease with whom they seem or believe to be NDC because they say they had 700. Tell us what say that. You can tell us what you listening and you don't come to church. You listening. So if you get it?
Yeah.
So if this government care, play it because I need to draw the parallel here.
So let me zero in. You have a seed program. The World Bank says if you're making 650 or less, you're poor. Yet still, the seed program is only paying you 350 and 450. They are aware of the World Bank report. Why then raise the seed program to $650 or more? So if they were interested in truly alleviating poverty or truly helping you, they would raise the figure to $650 or more. So I'm saying to all of the persons who are genuinely on the seed program, particularly our older citizens, who would have worked to help build Grenada, the seed program should be for you, for people who are differently able, for elder citizens.
But mine I go kill them slowly. But mine I go kill them only.
Igwe, I made you play that clip to draw the parallel with the same batch, with the same toilet outside. No. To alleviate poverty is to help, Devon. So if you give 650, that will help them to build toilet
Of course.
and bathroom.
Of course.
Because you know about the 650. Because the book say, he that knoweth the right and doeth the wrong shall be beaten with many stripes. Church people go tell you that. Mr. Telesford go tell you that, Deacon Mitchell. He that knoweth the right and doeth the wrong, many stripes you go beat him. Because you know, because you say, and you sort of qualify your statement by saying the World Bank say anybody owning less than 650. So the same people you say you do helping, if they don't have bathroom and toilet, they fall in that category. And seeing that you turn Santa Claus and you're giving money, those people what messing outside, Devon, please make a better try. Please, don't mama guy. Deacon Mitchell help them. I feel it's a mistake you make in Parliament.
I think so. I'm strongly believing it's a slip of the tongue.
But Devon, I want the people to remember this 3rd day of December 2023. Now, I like to tell the whole story, paint the whole tapestry, Devon. They went into Parliament and repealed the Fiscal Responsibility Act with some fiscal resiliency legislation. Under the Fiscal Responsibility Act, 9% of GDP was gained at salary and wages. Under the resiliency legislation, they say 13%. No, understand 13%. So the 13% was a selfish thing to take $5,000. Simply put. But to continue to deceive and to trick the Grenadian public They say they go give opposition MP $5,000 to. Trick.
Well, trick because when
Chicken trade. No. But wait, Devon, see where I'm going with that. 9% of $3 billion is more than 13% of $1 billion. Because this present administration, until and unless, Devon, they bring any capital projects or to stimulate the economy. Because when Lennox Andrew Elias told you MP talk about plenty money, we do see it in the eye test. Then when we was just in a small shop and the owner of the shop say the money you so make in the month of November is $20,000 less. So all this talk about the economy growing, all this talk about money and surplus does not meet the eye test.
business under curfew.
Not only under curfew, shopmen bawling, bossman crying, fisherman rolling on the ground like their mother dead. But the government minister saying things nice because they know $14,000. So there are 14,000 reasons to lie to the Grenadian public. Be aware. Because this money you turn around. So let me think. This, if you care, Mr. Deacon Mitchell, about the Grenadian public, you go make it 650. So the fact that you don't make it 650, you don't care. And we go quantify that. If you care about the Imanis, you go make them permanent as you promise. Because anything less wouldn't suffice. Because you say you go make them permanent. Andy Williams say they go make them permanent. Dennis Cornwall say they go make them permanent. So a lot of value claim permanence. And you have a clip with Mr. Andy Williams with the last clip we play Friday evening. Line it up. Because we cut in and go through here. We don't come here to play. We don't come here to stick. Now, the $500 for Imanis. Let me call them that. Deacon Mitchell and the NDC knows that there are some Imanis who are at private enterprise. And they know that the private enterprise has to match whatsoever the government put in, so like to put half. So with this $500, Deacon Mitchell, explain to us. If that is true, we don't know. So chatters on the street want to know if you say you're increasing $500, how it applies to those who are there with private people, Devon. Secondly, Devon. Now, but before I go to the 5,000, let me hear the clip. Because Andy makes some interesting comments there.
This is what we have to change. And I urge Grenadians to stop being fearful. You have a government here, you have a party here that is saying when we get into government, we are going to regularize contract work. Listen. Approximately half of the public sector is under contract. Approximately half of the public sector is under contract. When you're on contract, you have to pay your own NIS. When you're on contract, guys, there's no union involved. When you're on contract, there's no job security. You have no pension to get. But hello, when you reach 65 years or 60 years or whatever, and you retire, you still have to live. What you living on? Salaries are so low right now. Cost of living is so high. Prices every day is rising. What can you save in your account for when you retire? You can't save anything. So when you retire, you're retiring into poverty. Can we accept a system like that? Since when are we getting so fearful? It is time, folks, for us to stand up and demand better. Back to the beginning. You are the employers. You are the employers. We are the employees. And stop. I want to appeal again, guys. I want to appeal again. Stop this party thing. If Andy becomes the MP of the South and Andy is doing crap, take him out. Bring someone else there that will do better. It's about country, not party. You are the employers. You have the power. Use the power to get what you want. Thank you.
So Andy give us the remedy. Andy say, watch, if they're not doing what they're supposed to do, take them out. But we just put it simply, just say, go. Yes. No, please. So let me cut short Andy say. But Andy, I want you to tell Dick and Mitchell that same thing. If you forget what you say, send your number for me. I will send the clip so you go refresh your memory and go and tell Dick and Mitchell the same thing. The $500. Let me deal with that there. They still have to pay the NIS. Mm-hmm. They still don't have union. They still don't have job security because they're on contract. There's no provision when they retire for pension because they make all kind of halabala out pension gates. They jump up, they wind down, they even forget we on Real FM time would have come to talk about it. So the same I-manis, the promise I'll make to them, Igwe, was permanent. So Jam, Dennis and them with the permanent for me because I want to remind them, I don't think, because I want them to hear what they say. So Devon, the Imanis still have to pay the NIS. Hold on, they're on contract. Mm-hmm. They still owe the union, Devon. They still owe our job security. They still are eligible for pension. Andy, make a better try. Stop this mama guy. Because you are barely on guts. They say it's 3 million you have for GDP that was chatters on the street say. Mm-hmm. And all you're talking. And here how the thing get coconius, you know, Igwe. $3,000 was the tax threshold in Grenada. So they say, if you're making less than that, you didn't have to pay income tax. By chatters on the street, say the men intend to lower it, the tax threshold. So people are making maybe $1,500 might be paying tax.
Including the Imanis.
So including the same. So because when they give the North the 500, it's 410.
This 410, they take out.
So I don't know how much the Imani will come to. Because they make some go.
Yeah.
And I want to know how low you go bring the tax threshold. So we are with the budget.
We await the budget.
NNP told you about safer hands. Because you see, you have to remind Grenadians there, you have to remind them. NNP told them about safer hands. Yes, let me take the first call.
On the WhatsApp.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Master Carl.
Professor!
Igwe.
Hey. Professor, if you're messing outside, you're in trouble, you know.
But I tell you, this. When I listen to the Prime Minister talking about unless you have toilet and bathroom and running water inside of your house,
the WASH program,
you not qualify for house repair. Master Carl, house repair. It's such a significant and basic need of the Grenadian public. And let me tell you this, if you were to do a research of the number of people who still have running water outside of the house, that is, they have pit latrine, and they have bathroom outside, a very significant segment of our population still have those facilities outside of their home. But when you have a leaking roof and you have a broken window and some rotten flooring and rotten board outside of your house, the Prime Minister say unless you put toilet and bath inside, you are not going to qualify for house repair. He said adamantly, we are not repairing any house that do not have bathroom and toilet on the inside. Is that man drunk?
They say when
Is
they're
the
nice, they don't say
honorable
anything.
prime minister is the honorable prime minister intoxicated with the money from Dubai?
Rain
Or
my
weed?
fall on the house top yonder.
Boy, I tell you, Grenada is in sheer shambles and mess.
Mess,
And
mess, mess.
there are so many things that we could talk about this Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. You know, I shudder to think of what is happening, of how many people who have applied for house repair, maybe a couple sheets of galvanized, maybe a couple of sheets of ply to put a partition to separate a room for their child or children. Maybe just a window that to replace a broken hinge. Maybe a front door. Maybe something just to make life comfortable. And this government is taking a decision to not help because you do not have a toilet and a bathroom on the inside of your house. How unconscionable and how wicked can you be?
And
How insensitive, Carl,
and
in which
and professor they give
you mean
statistics, you know. They
yes.
give statistics of who messing outside. And yet still they say we go punish that set of people.
So all people who messing
They
outside,
punishing them
I
by
mean,
nobody are messing outside shouldn't vote for NDC.
but,
I said it.
but you, and I tell you this though, there are more people who are messing outside who voted for NDC than any other than
Yes,
plenty.
because they vote
Those
for
are the people who
pension.
voted for NDC. Are people who, yes, they are messing outside. In fact, Carl, some of them do not even have a contained latrine to put it. They mess in the bush and in the river. And that is not to disparage any person because it's not a life that we want to go back to or we want to emulate,
No.
but it's just the reality of life. There are many of our population who cannot afford to build bathroom and have indoor plumbing, and so they still resort to the outside, and it has worked. Carl, I grew up without uh, indoor water and plumbing
Well, I know
and
as a
bathroom.
product of that, so I know.
Me too.
I grew up. That's how I grew up. I became an adult before I was a working adult before I could have afforded to help my mom put a bathroom and toilet on the inside, Carl. It took me to be a working adult to be able to do that. So I know what it is to have outside bathroom, and the prime minister and his government have decided that you have to reach a certain standard. Carl, when you could afford, let me tell you this, huh? When you could afford to put bathroom and toilet on the inside and have a sink and running water, you have no need for house repair anymore.
No. It's those who don't
Yes,
have what I
I.
need for it, and government has an obligation. A moral obligation, but then he say morality is something private, eh? So you see,
Yes,
when the
yes,
man say thing and he does know what he's saying, you know. Because
yes, Carl.
if the moral obligation is private, then you don't have to help nobody.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But you know what the morality? Let me expose him tonight. Today,
Yes,
you know the
yes.
morality he's talking about, right? The
Yeah, we
morality
know.
has nothing to do with right or wrong, or doing good by poor people and single mothers. No, the morality he's talking there about is the is a sexual is has a sexual
Yeah,
connotation. Do not let
no,
yes.
the EU version of morality.
Yes, that's the EU version of morality. Don't tell me with whom to have sex or when to have sex,
Oh, way
whether
to
I'm a
have sex.
pedophile. Yes.
And
You
then
know, whether I'm a pedophile. Yes.
and then professor
That's what.
and professor
Talk to me.
because the argument is reciprocity. Anything them men could do in Europe, they could come down here and do it. You. So
Absolutely.
if they feel to come and have sex on the roadside down here, nothing can happen because the argument covers that. You.
That's absolutely, Carl, let me tell you this. That's when you talk about reciprocity, when you talk about obligation to a signed treaty, that's what you're talking about. Wherever it obtains and whatever is obtained elsewhere will find its way in Grenada or in the Caribbean or wherever the other members signed. And that is that you see, Carl, let me tell you something. Many of them, you could realize that they were so greedy. They used to call NNP people, the poor people of NNP, needy people and greedy people. But now we recognize who are the really greedy people. Greedy. I am refusing to call them greedy. I call them they are way beyond greedy. They have a voracious appetite and a voracious appetite for money.
They are
And
vultures.
that's all to feed themselves, Devon, to feed themselves and to pocket off of poor people, pocket off opportunities they create for themselves and their family and friends. That's what they're doing to us.
All right,
Let's
Doc.
Yeah,
let's talk a little.
before
Go
you
ahead.
go, I want to read something from you, and I want to take on it.
Yes, yes.
In the agreement, he has no glossary. So you
Yeah.
have to take words out of it in the meaning of the dictionary.
Yeah.
And the dictionary shall is must. So they shall embody the principle of gender equality in the national constitution or other appropriate legislation. Now, section 39 of our constitution allows certain alterations to the constitution by a two-third majority in parliament, which they have.
Yes.
So there's nothing
Yeah.
stopping them.
Right.
And that is
Right.
the concern I have.
Absolutely. Let me tell you something. Because they have a two-thirds majority, they can move and second and vote into action any amendment to the Constitution to facilitate
Yes.
any of those clauses that pertain inside that find its way inside of the treaty. So,
Yes.
Carl, uh, uh, th- so right now they are poised and they are
They go
holding on to
Corey we
that
call
power.
alone.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. So
Another thing
we
before you go, I want you to speak on. There's a picture parading on social media with one resembling that of Mr. Deacon Mitchell. Stand up by a male marijuana tree. What message you find that sending out?
boy, I haven't seen the picture, but but
That easy,
yeah,
man. You could see that anytime.
I haven't seen that picture. I needed to have seen that picture, but
Put it on the screen.
Yeah, I am gonna put it up.
yeah, that one stumped me there, Carl. But I needed to have seen that. um, yeah, you get it on?
Yeah, man, but
Okay,
check your device.
okay.
I say no more.
Well, no, well, Carl, is that a Photoshop picture? Is that
Well,
a
that
authentic picture?
is, so I had to ask some questions on that because I want to be fair. And I want to know how the police, if it's not a Photoshop picture, how the police will react to that.
Well, this picture, I'm hoping, Carl, I'm hoping it's a photo. Is a
You hoping it's a
Photoshop picture.
Photoshop?
Yeah, it has to be a Photoshop picture because that picture, that picture, Devon, the picture of that weed is a full-grown weed. It has already seeded.
It look at it, it's on private property.
Yes, and
Because-
that's a private property.
Because, Professor, what I do know is, whenever the Prime Minister to visit any place, members of the Royal Grenada Police Force usually go and check out the area days before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I want to ask The question, if it's not a Photoshop picture, I want to hear from Mr. John Charles and Vani Cohen and Jessman Prince and Randy Cannott and the commissioner. Because if you have to go and check the area, you must see days before. And based on the drug legislation, the police has no discretion with drugs concerned. So I want to know the police got into weed farming.
I tell you that.
And you see, these are the things that render this government a kakistocracy by the worst set of people. And as he say, it's a default government we have.
Absolutely.
And he quantify default, what you say earlier, by doing things for them, their friends, and their family.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing.
So
I tell you, they are braying about, they're going to add $500 to the Imani salary, and that they're going to add $250 to the seed money, and they're applauding this as though these are big achievements after you remove the 150 already. But Carl, let me say this here before I go, man.
Yeah.
I think it's a travesty. Let me say this here. Even under the NNP government, we came to the agreement, consensus, not just government but Grenadian public, that the salaries that were paid to ministers and especially to the opposition members of parliament and just parliamentary representatives, those were awfully lacking. They were definitely not on par with the rest of those.
No, I agree. But my thing is our timing.
Yeah, but time you have to, I believe, Carl, you have to create timing. You have to create timing.
Yes.
You have to create the timing. Sometimes you have to take the bulls.
Yeah, you have to bail the cat.
Right, you have to bail the cat. And I think, however, it's what, look at the percentage increase. I think that's my most worrying thing about the
2 increase in 2 years.
But it's 100% increase in 17 months.
Yes.
100%. You understand?
And you don't walk in for that.
No, man, you have to justify.
A man like Jonathan Lacroix don't walk in for that because health in a mess, he don't have medication.
Yes, yeah. And
no capital projects, so the Prime Minister in the Ministry of Infrastructure don't walk in for that. Agriculture, those and them don't walk in for that.
Well, as I said, I am in for an increase for ministers and certainly members.
No, I always say they should be working for more.
Yes, but you have to justify 100% increase in and look at what you're giving civil servants, 4% increase, and you're taking 100% increase.
but when they give civil servants 4% increase, they say the legislation does not. There are constraints. Now you free up the legislation and you bring in a new one where you're getting 13%. So you should go back to the civil servants and say the thing afford me to give you something more. But Professor, but one thing we're forgetting, it is also said, or chatters on the street believe, that the tax threshold of $3,000 will be lowered. So those who you including in the net now, are they receiving an increase?
Well,
that's the question.
That's a good question, Carl. And let me say this here. We don't know the parameters that surround because the increases with government ministers, because the first $2,000 increase was given as not as part of their salary, which meant that the $2,000 was not going to be taxed. So that was tax free. We don't know the additional 5,000 that is proposed or that is talked about, what parameters or legislation they are going to seek to try to embrace upon it. Therefore means that they may be able to take away that additional 5,000 tax free so that they will get $7,000 increase
Tax free.
without it being taxed, right? And then if you lower the threshold for civil servants and public servants and people on contract, it means that they are, with the little P tax, are going to have to pay taxes on the little increase that they get, including the money and including public officers.
Because that
and
happened with the
police
North
officers.
Seas. The 500 in the North Seas, they are now getting only 410.
Yeah, because it placed them within that $3,000 a month, and therefore everything above the 3,000 you had to pay 25% off.
And if they lower in it now, you know.
Yeah.
All right, Professor, thanks for your insight, man.
Man, yes, always. You take care.
All right,
you guys
okay.
have a good day.
All right, Professor.
Gets our question for you. Based on your learning and training and your knowledge, that picture with the person resembling that of Deacon Mitchell by that tree, you find that Photoshop?
No, man, that real picture. It's 100% real picture.
So, well, that being so, the head of special branch, you don't walk in, because just how justice must not be seen to be done, just so the law, you can't pretend it don't happen.
I want to know who that weed feel is. Yeah, I want to know who that weed feel.
So I can't tell Malanasha.
That's cool, no?
It's best we
But
let
like me and you have to fall less.
Gates. According to Malanasha, it's better we like a ganja prime minister.
Yes, like ganja.
Let me take it.
Good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon.
Yes, my dear.
Hello, I said good afternoon, guys. I don't hear you.
Yeah, we say good afternoon.
When you come, the flow is yours, you know. I just get quiet.
Good afternoon, caller.
Why the flow is not and you getting quiet, gay?
How thou?
I ain't not with you, know. Stop by your game, eh? Stop by your game.
All right.
What do you mean by stop game?
I find out you're playing that fall play with you, Jenna. Let me make you to understand now. I'm watching that man stand up by the marijuana tree. I lie again.
Somebody says a male tree.
It doesn't matter what it is.
It matters what it is.
It's showing the
It
merit.
don't matter for you.
That's the trick. All you getting, all the plan coming through, all the plan coming through. That's what it's showing. That is signal. That is signal. So that is rise again. You check it out? But in the budget, the only thing I hear this man talk about, what he have in the budget is the $500, the $5,000, but I don't hear in health. I don't hear in a project coming up.
I don't hear about the 500 houses again.
I don't hear in the cost of living going down.
You go hear that tomorrow, please,
I don't hear now the white potato and the chalk, the green leg chalk. I don't hear that.
Anything, nobody does say, let me tell you something. If the man only have 18 months in office, and he put in 18 months again, another 5,000 going up on the people and them pay. So, all right, if you don't have money for health care, you don't have money for house to build, if you don't have bathroom and toilet, you don't have nothing for you to repay. So where that 5,000 coming on, how where that tree is to put it there in and people like them, it's like Ketobos is so glad my pay raise it again and got me 18 months because I get it more again. Check the kind of vibes. Emmanuel and money don't they know it. I wouldn't say what they say. These $500 don't they know it, because sometimes when you see you get $50 on your money and you're telling yourself, oh, I could buy 1 pound of sugar more. But when you reach to the cashier, when the cashier telling you what you have, it don't making sense. It don't making sense. I want to hear healthcare productivity going up. I don't want to hear about the $5,000 raise. That's not me. I don't hear nothing about healthcare. I only singing song about healthcare. These people and them know that the money every time they pay go up, they could climb the plane. I can't climb the plane. I want to hear about healthcare. This is the thing. I don't work in so nobody can tell me I get raise pay.
How much is medical station going?
No, the medical station they come up to now. They don't put the liquid to wash the hand up to now. The bat still peeing, messing, the termites making manima, everything they making. When you hear bats start to live inside a roof, is a real ruction what's going there. So bat day, rat day, roach day, everything. When you hear you go, you get you go the infection taking you when you have you go and you sterilize and you have to come back next morning and sterilize. It's a work going for every morning going and do that, you know. Have it is medical station in the washroom need a new door. Mr. Lacret. Mr. How they call the man on the east again?
Canwell.
Oh, what going on with you? Oh, so that a joke now then. I'll get vexed and come down in your office if I want to see me. I'm going to make you know who talking, you know. I'll come down in your office and stop playing games. Parents in no man no walk in. Whole country could run. I see these people and them. I listen these people and them doing the and they showing it could build boss shed. Yeah, the thing what these people are what day in Montrich for the people and them say they put it home in Montrich. What day in Montrich to get home? They put it home in Montrich. I hear people complaining, boss man complaining they don't have a road to run down from Grenville to St. George's, man. Tell these people and them put work on this in the market for people to work. Christmas coming, everybody $1.00. They pay going up, but what is the pay? The kind of $2 they put in on the small man pay. You know, making sense, you know. Because when they put up on theirs, I can't go to the shop and buy sugar and flour. That one they don't want to understand, you know. They could go in style. They're going in grand and make they go to in your shop. I have to go. It's time for us to wake up. I can't see. Carl, I can't hear you talking. Carl, who feeding you? What energy you coming on this program with? Where you get that energy from? All right, Igwe. Are you come minutes to 2 before 4 o'clock? I'll be ready to go.
For my country's sake. No sacrifice is too hard for me to make. So don't question my energy. Because if August down here tomorrow, don't ask me about no visa.
No, I said make it this evening. Now you come in late. When you come late 4 o'clock, are you going on that? When you hear you walking, walk with honest. Honest they pay with an honest work pay. That's what I want to see this evening.
With the contract.
Go 2 o'clock and I go in 4 o'clock.
With the contract.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Masakal,
yeah.
I want to do some breaking down with the alleged salaries and so with parliamentarians and ministers and so. But before I do that, I want to say congratulations to Paradise FC on winning the Wagiti football super knockout. A grand prize of $100,000.
Wow.
Right, that's congratulations to the entire Paradise Passy supporters, players, well-wishers, you know.
Was you on that point there, man? Wagiti competition has been around a very long time. And chatters on the street has indicated the amount of money since this administration come that it's charging Wagiti to use the facility, Wagiti might not come back.
Yeah, that's
yeah, they say the amount of funds they charging Wagiti, it don't make any economic sense for Wagiti.
And not just for the football, even for the big bingo. Wagiti was basically telling us, look man, he used to pay like 6,000 or whatever.
No, it's 25 and thing.
Now they basically triple that. You understand? So you see that thing. But anyhow,
so
that's
August tomorrow.
So again, Paradise FC, congratulations to you. And the defeated finalist Shamrock. And so out of
I want to see if you do bigging up Shamrock. Shamrock caught in St. Patrick's East. I want to hear you do bigging up Shamrock.
Shamrock out of River Sally, basically.
No, Roseville. Roseville basically, they might have players from Sally.
And so congratulations to you for a basic.
Boss head.
you know, and so and to Wagiti, yeah, you have continued to basically do good for sportsmen and women in Grenada.
And give Wagiti soca monarchy go run it better.
Go run it better. Yeah.
And
Lay you on that.
Petlin over there in Munich, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, Deborah.
Now, the whole question.
Let me take the call and the whole thing after.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to all you gentlemen.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Right. First of all, let me, as you said it, let me join in congratulating Paradise for winning the Wagati football and to all the other teams that took part. I also said long that Wagati should be given Carnival to run. And Wagati should be given award for the service he's doing to Grenada. I said that before already. Mr. Carl, I listened to the NDC heartbeat earlier on, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs admitted and apologized, and he said take responsibility for the signing of the document. Right?
Hold on 1 second. So when I say that Friday, ain't a man call me and getting vexed and say leave Mr. Andal alone?
Yeah.
But Mr. Andal now, he had heavy conscience are dealing with him.
But
because he know all what go on.
Well,
and he know the Prime Minister know all what go on.
Well, you take the word from me. I am convinced that the Minister of Foreign Affairs was aware that the time the man was signing. Let me
tell you what make him go and say that. Because he know we know. And chatters on the street know they cancel a flight for him. He know that chatters on the street know that he is comfortable with the agreement. He know that chatters on the street know they didn't want him go in Brussels. Like they didn't want Christopher Columbus in Italy, they didn't want him in Rome, but he still come here.
Well, I will hope that you get that copy of what he said this morning, because I'm seeing it that while Mr. Andal knew, and the Prime Minister deliberately called on Mr. Andal to answer the question first, so that the Prime Minister could have seen how he could get to play.
Clifford, let me tell you what really happened. The Prime Minister know how Mr. Andal feel about the agreement. So he didn't trust to speak first. So that Mr. Andal would have come and say something different, so he wanted to listen what Mr. Andal say first. When he realized what going on and what a mother floor, he say, what? I don't read it. But he know all what the Archbishop say about what is contained in the document.
But Mr. Andal, I am confident also that Mr. Andal read the document.
Mr. Andal never say he don't read it.
No, I didn't say he said that. But I'm saying I'm confident that he read it and he was aware of all what is happening and what is going to take place.
We know.
But they were still fooling us, Grenadian, because he pretend to talk about the window. There's a window, and he never gave us the impression that the document would have been signed.
But Clifford, if what you say is true, that Mr. Andal said, for that embarrassment and fiasco, Andal has to go.
Well, Andal admitted to the same Terry Forrester, who was quizzing him. Right? I will like
So, and what Terry say about the mix up in time now?
All he did.
What I want to say on the radio, Clifford, I can't say it.
Based on what I learned about Mr. Terry Forrester, he was said when he was at NMP that he was a spin doctor. He is still a spin doctor. And I hold no apology in saying that. I said when Mr. Terry Forrester was public relations officer for NMP, he was said that he's a spin doctor.
Well, Clifford, right
Mr. on Terry Forrester is still a spin doctor.
Clifford, on Real FM, we grew up on turning pitch. So we know we could use we fit, we could salvo, we could chibite down the wicket and kill the spin.
And next thing I heard again.
Hold on, Clifford, hold on a while. Before you make that next point, I just wanted to sort of interject. You know what, based on what you said, because I have not heard Mr. Andal, but you know Mr. Andal has again continued to put his foot in his mouth and do stupidness, because why would you go on an NDC heartbeat program and apologize to the nation. You as a foreign minister, right? You have an apology to the nation.
You had to go in a press conference.
Not to NDC supporters.
You trying appeasement.
You know, so you see the foolishness that they continue to do.
I will do that again, but I am advising you all to get that clip. Please.
Yeah, we will.
So we would next week we could go into it. But again, I did hear a next clipping from the police, where the police had a press conference last week, and I'm saying, in all the press conference I've been hearing from the police for the recent time, this one is the worst. The Prime Minister, the Commissioner of Police was there, one, Mr. Cohen, and two other persons, I can't remember the name. And they was not able to answer the questions as expected at all. I don't think they give a good account of the questions answered.
The best person on that thing was the traffic guy.
The gentleman.
At least the traffic have a plan.
Right. But to me, the gentleman in charge of the one that was there with a suit and
Jacob brother.
To me, he was ducking from a lot of things. Even the commissioner of police was forced to answer questions like, and even with the police beating the person, they admit that they tried the police inside and there's nothing. The DPP say what? There is nothing to charge the police for. But we all Grenadians saw the licks that was given while the man 2 hands was tied and his feet was tied. So if a man 2 hands tied and his foot tied, there is no reason for beating the man. Absolutely, absolutely. There is no reason. The man was using some obscene issue, but he could not have get away with that thing. 4 police were there, and you tie him, and you still beating him.
I would have sued them.
Huh?
I would have sued them.
Well, to sue them, no, it's a thing because they...
No, you can still sue them. Bring a civil case against them.
Yeah, no case from the GPP. And the commissioner admit that it was tried in-house. So, you know, the police tried the police.
The voice note was tried in-house too.
Yeah, the voice note.
You know, so I don't know, but I am also convinced that this present government, easy to get them out. It's not easy to get them out. And they're going to continue making mistakes until they're 5 years. But it ain't easy to get them out. I'm convinced.
All right, Mr. Bridgman.
All right.
Have a good evening.
I book Clifford Talk there.
No, well,
will come real strong.
Yeah, he comes strong.
Definitely. And well, again, Mr. Handel, you have some questions to answer. But however, I want to dive into that whole question of the razor salary and so, right? And no, as it is presently, right? As it is presently, our ministers, right, is getting close to around, was getting close to around $7,000 when they came in, right? Give or take a little bit more. Immediately as they came in, around 6 weeks, they added $2,000. And I want persons to follow me, right? Let's do some maths. They added $2,000 to their salaries, right? As ministers and so. Caller, just hold on a minute, please. Right? $2,000 they added. So it brings them to a total of $9,000, right? As cabinet ministers. That would include some of the senators and everybody like that who are ministers. Right? So that's 9. Now we are hearing, it's alleged that we are hearing that the cabinet, right, the persons, the ministers in cabinet, MPs, will be getting an additional $5,000 plus on that $9,000. So that brings them to what? 9 and 5 or $14,000? 14. Now it's alleged of the 5,000. So for argument's sake, so let's think. No, that's $14,000. Now when you add that $14,000 to those MPs that is in cabinet, who will be getting an additional $5,000 plus as an MP together with the oppositions, that would bring them to close to $20,000, give or take. So what you will find, I want Grenadians to pay particular attention, and I say it's alleged, when it comes to some of the figures, because tomorrow, please the Lord, during the budget, we will know exactly what the figures are in terms of the raise of pay. So you can see that a minister, right, a cabinet minister, MP, could be working for in excess of $18,000, $19,000 a month.
Yeah, the allowances will bring it up.
Everything that they're getting from government, I consider that as salary. Whatever they're getting, that is exactly what it is. The facts are there. So let's wait. I raised that issue to sensitize persons as to what, you know, is ahead.
The Prime Minister said, if you want cheap government, you see what? The Prime Minister didn't hide his intention in all of these things. He say you can't, he quote some person from the Far East. If you want government only cheap, you pay them cheap. If you want go thing. And he know, because he talk about the propensity to corruption. So he might find somebody go rogue, so he have to do that money.
We still have the caller? Yeah?
Yeah.
Good afternoon and welcome.
I listening this man saying nobody can move these people at them day. They're not easy to move. So who glue them?
Caller, that is the man opinion. Don't beat up on the man opinion. That's what he thinks. You think different. Leave the man with the opinion. Let me respect people's opinion. We don't have to argue with it.
I don't argue the man's opinion. I only ask the question, who glue them?
Yeah, so that is what he thinks. You don't have to be a fact.
These people and them so what's going on. Some of us like what's going on. Because if they can't move it, that means we like what's going on. You cannot sit down there and see people doing them thing and them. A lot of people dying. A lot of people dying in the hospital and they're telling me now these people. No man, you go away.
Yeah, Devon.
Yeah, you know, so I want persons. We got an next caller. Let's take the caller. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Since last week I'm trying to get all you. I want to know if all you're blocking me.
Well, you're on right now, so make that valuable contribution.
Right. I listen the caller before this caller with the gentleman that the police had beaten. Now, I am a mother of 4 children, right? And my first son is 53 years. Now, I see the police and them tie the fella hand and they tie his foot. And one with a baton, I don't know, wood or whatever it is. One holding the hand, one holding the foot. And one is beating him. And I hear Mr. Nelson say something about the police, like the police is right. There is no way I see the police is right. Right? If I was that child parents, I would have go all out to seek justice for my child. The child come from a womb. Mr. Nelson come from a womb. The police and them come from a womb. And there is no way you could treat a human being like that. I think I heard the lawyer say that he is taking action, he's suing the state or the police force or what.
I think that's the best
the law
thing.
is right. Right? There is no way the police officers and them could be right to holding a man's hand and foot and one is beating him. Mr. Nelson must be getting senile. He need to retire. He need to resign. If you could see this thing and you're saying the police is right, something wrong with you. Right? I have children for myself and there is no way I see a police officer do that to a human being, and I will sit down with it as a mother. Maybe Mr. Nelson don't come from a mother's home.
But you know what is interesting, is that the same, a lot of us, right, who saw that video with the police officers, what was happening with the young man and the police officers, right? And a lot of us sit there and we say nothing, but you know, a couple of years ago in the United States, when we had the whole question of the George Floyd issue, right, we made a big thing because the police, they basically beat and end up killing the young man. Same brutality, right? So why, I mean, it's puzzling to me to see such evidence, and that's just my point of view, such evidence, growing evidence of police brutality on a civilian, and then you have the
Nelson siding with
DPC
it.
and saying, well, I don't know if he's siding with it, but based on what he quotes law, and he said that they sees nothing with that. I would advise, if it's
maybe
me.
Mr. Nelson don't come from a womb. He don't come from a mother's womb.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but in my judgment, I would advise the family openly to seek advice and take the state or the police, whoever, to court in a civil matter.
Correct. The parents of that boy need to do something. Even though he was wrong, what I see, they're wrong.
Watch. The gentleman cannot be wrong when he is being subdued by the police. His foot is being tied. He's being handcuffed.
And he can't do anything at all. He can't fight back.
Exactly.
He can't do anything.
So how can he be wrong? Taking all that blows and he cannot do anything. I mean, that is a total abuse in my view.
And I mean the hand and foot, and you're beating the man across the belly. Blows the man getting.
No, we can't continue.
They need to do something. I think I heard the lawyer say that he's suing the state or the government or whatever it is. But the parents of that boy need to get up and do something about it.
Justice must be for all. Anyhow.
Right? I'm a mother of children too, and there is no way I will let police do my child that.
All right, my dear. Have a good afternoon. Thanks again for your contribution.
Let me take a quick one. Hold on.
From the north, covering south, east, and west. This is Real FM.
Tell me candid, they too wicked, far too crooked. That is the frequent comment I hear. Too one-sided, underhanded, can't be trusted. This is the opinion, yes, yeah. For their own abuses, they keep making excuses. Housing crack up over, they unleash their lawyer. Set up an inquiry just to get Kid Rowley. But they wouldn't sue the false paper screw. I don't need to close to tell them go. Hurry, pack up your bundle now. Stop fooling the people. The country taking and beating. So maybe I repeating. Go. They're like a natural disaster. Now. 10 times worse than Ebola. Like a dog with fleas and tongue on their knees. And I'm begging. Streets turn into rivers, then into seas. Is why I'm singing. Now this is my humble petition. Announce the date for election. Go now, please. Accidental, detrimental, could be lethal. Are you willing to take that chance? Much too seedy, they too greedy, eyes too beady. Honeymoon and before the romance. We expect corruption, but now without check or interruption. That a few might stuff the pocket, but not racket by the pocket. From the constant comments, we get no recess. Before things fall apart and the riot starts. Even in chutney, I'll tell them go. Make it sooner than later. To protect the future, please. For the sake of we children and the next generation. Go. To safeguard our image. Before Griffith cause more damage. Like a dog with fleas and tongue on the knees. And I'm begging. They try to stick me with Rashmi. They have more trick than Houdini. Streams turn into rivers, then into seas. Is why I'm singing. Please, Mrs. Kamla. Take Munila and Sharma. Go. Now, please. them minions, total villains, raking millions. Their slogan, we shall rise, it was so true. Tell John Public not to panic while them and they sidekick, swimming in a pool of dollars so blue. Like meat eating vulture, they neglect agriculture. Mega fans of phony, Mama Guy Caroni, Sweet Man Glenn and Sharma came face to face with the karma. And it was awful, but through it to pull. Don't need a big mouth to tell them go. Watch her and see they does follow now. Before we regret tomorrow, please. You're setting a bad example. Family values they trample. Go. It's only vice they desire. Now. Before the 5 years expire, like a dog with fleas and down on their knees. And a bleeding gold. Now before we end in bankruptcy. Before they empty the treasury, streams turn into rivers, then into seas. It's why I'm bleeding gold.
Now, they say, Clifford say, you have a man that is a spin doctor. So we on WFM, we are spin players.
Real FM.
So let me teach you how to play spin, you know.
Who claims that signatories of the agreement would have to implement, they would have to implement LGBTQ and, sorry, I lost the question, I'm coming back. Yes, so let me go. So he said that they would have to impose abortion legislation and transgender and LGBTQ comprehensive education. Can you shed some light on that for us, please? Thank you.
Well, first I'll ask the Minister for Foreign Affairs, I think, to address where Grenada is in relation to that agreement, and then I can share my general... So I'll ask the Minister, I think, the Archbishop's comments.
Sure.
Good. So, thus far, Grenada and a number of other CARICOM and some other countries in the Pacific and African region of the OACPS have not yet signed. Trinidad and Tobago has not yet signed. I do not believe that Jamaica has signed at this moment. So there's a window for countries to sign. And I don't believe that, well, Grenada for sure, we are not willing to surrender our sovereignty to any international organization. And
international agreements or not, morality and values to a large extent defined by the culture of any particular country or any particular region. And so, you know, questions about, certainly the questions raised by the comments of the Archbishop, I think are always good. The questions for debate. The questions about what leadership involves or it doesn't involve. But I always want to say, first and foremost, morality is a private issue. That's one. We have to bear that in mind. Two, certainly in the context of the region, we've had separation of church and state a long time ago. And three, from a public perspective, the government deals with law and what's legal or what's not legal. And so we have to be careful that we do not blur the line between private morality and law. And I certainly think from our perspective, the morality of other countries is not something that should be imposed on the morality of other countries. Nor, in my view, should it be tied to aid, because it essentially means other countries are trying to impose either their morality or their public policy on other countries by tying it to aid. So that's not, philosophically, that's not something we support. Our approach is if a country intends to engage in, whether it's grant funding, aid funding, or loans with us, those are commercial matters. And from our perspective, it is commercial terms that should govern them. If you attempt to impose what I would call morality issues into them, then I think certainly from our perspective, we view the two as separate, and it is not likely that this government will simply sign because we need to get some grant funding or some aid funding.
Now, in our case, I believe that the first controversy came about because of, I wouldn't even call it a misunderstanding. A couple of Wednesdays ago, I was engaged at the Parliament in a meeting of the House Committee.
Right.
Prior to that, I had an engagement with the Chinese ambassador. And immediately following the House Committee meeting, the Prime Minister and I hosted a press conference.
Right.
So what happened then is that while I was engaged and virtually incommunicado for that period, our ambassador in Brussels had signed the agreement.
Right.
So in response to a reporter's question, I had said, no, we had not signed.
And I think this is how we describe our government. This is a real word. It's not made up.
Okay.
It has Greek origins. It is called a kakistocracy. Google it. A kakistocracy.
Surely you're making things up now.
Google it.
I mean, I love the word, but what is the meaning?
Okay. You Google it and you tell me the meaning.
Okay.
And tell me this does not adequately describe our government.
Now I'm typing kaki into my work computer.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Kakistocracy.
Kakistocracy.
Kakistocracy. And give me the definition.
Literally, a government by the worst people.
Yes.
A government by the least suitable or competent citizens of a state. Okay? So full of the kaki people.
It's not
I
even
can't believe it's an actual word.
and it's not even an Afrikaans word you'd think where kak comes from. Hey?
Wow.
Do you call a parliament full of these people? A case.
Ah, he enjoyed that.
Yes, Igwe. A kakistocracy.
Igwe. So, he begs some question here now. Igwe, the first thing, it proves incompetence. So, no matter what Joseph Andal just say, it qualifies incompetence by Joseph Andal. But Joseph forgetting the small matter that Brussels is 6 hours in front of us. So if the ambassador signed 6 hours, you tell me there was no communication between the signing of the document, hold on, Joseph Andal, in 6 hours, Joseph, you just proved incompetence there to make you go. You know what you solved. But the questions that I need to ask Joseph, was there any ticket for you to go in Brussels? Hold on. Yo, let me take the call.
Hello?
Good afternoon, caller.
Mr. Carl, good afternoon.
Yes, make your point.
Good afternoon. Mr. Carl, when you look at a situation, let's say hurricane approaching, and you have a senior citizen alone in a home, and they have an outside toilet. Mr. Carl, it becomes impossible for them to go outside there in that weather, Mr. Carl. And so I consider these people, the senior citizens who contribute and make Grenada to be where it is right now. These people, they need the help of the government to get inside toilet and run outside. And when you have the Prime Minister saying that they will not be helping these people, what kind of heart these people side of them? What kind of heart? Because this is the people that will help. Because you have to protect people, secure people. When a man have an inside toilet, he's secured. In bad weather, he will go inside. But when your grandparents have outside toilet and a bad weather and that thing call upon them, Master Carl, if they don't have a pail or something inside, they have to come out. So how are you securing these people that they have to go outside in a bad weather? Right? When they go outside, you open them to danger. Someone could be around the house, and as they enter, the person could empty and a single parent. But about again, you have a young lady living in a situation there. Yes, she has 4 or 5 children, girl children, boy children, and they have to go outside in the night time. What about them? When they go outside, you don't know what happened when we as the person inside. So these is the people the government have to try and help. No, I'm not saying that you cannot help somebody who are inside toilet and bathroom, but the first preference should come to those who need it first. And after what you do it, you go to those who have and they need the house repair. And when yes, they may have a home, they have outside toilet, but also in the home need repaired. So you have to seek the interest of these people first. I must call. I must say it again. Okay, I do believe the salary that means are getting is not sufficient. But then now we have to look at priority first. Priority first. Health, putting up more money on ministers' pay. Health is the wealth of a nation. Is the wealth of a nation. And I do believe what the government should do, seek and make sure that they get medication for the general hospital or all health center. When you look within the next 3 or 4 months, a lot of people doing surgery. And what happened to them? Because there is no medication, some of them expired. So I call upon the government, especially the Minister of Health, get medication, stock up the hospital medication, the health center. That is important. Important. There comes a time where the government, they have it and they do what they do. We don't say health is perfect. No system is perfect. No ministry is perfect. But the priority first is health. Health are the people. And I would say the most important thing in a country is securing and making life better for the people of the country and not money. Not money. Why is the considered government, as Vulture and Mr. Perez said, they came in there to rob and to thief and to pressure the poor people of the country, the people who labor and they work hard to put greater on the food. Mr. Brother Carl and Igwe, I call upon the government to do what is right for the greater people and not do for themselves. Don't do for themselves because Grenadians, we are all one Grenadian. We all, I would say, in unity is strength, but we cannot unite. When we only looking at one set of people and want to do back some. And for when you go forward, everybody go forward. You cannot go forward and some going forward and some staying back. So, Mr. God have a blessing.
So, Mr. Joseph Andal, what stage or what date did the government of Grenada decide they go sign the Samoa agreement? Because hold on, Igwe. Somebody had to give the ambassador the go ahead there, man. You can't do it for yourself. Because what happened in that press conference, that question made the Prime Minister so uncomfortable that he gave Mr. Andal the first crack at the thing. We have to give information to because the question begged Mr. Andal, was there a cancellation of any ticket in your name to travel to Brussels? And you're saying you had between meeting and thing. Who gave the ambassador the authority to sign? That's the answer. That's the question you have to answer. Because I realized in the press conference, you were so uncomfortable, you and the Prime Minister. Let's take the call.
Hello on the WhatsApp.
Yeah, afternoon, sir. Mr. Andal, early on, I heard he was being quizzed and he answered a few questions. It was just about half a dozen or so countries in the world that did not sign on to that Samoa agreement. Just a few. There's not much, and most of those persons, most of us that are critical about it, we're just trying to make impression. The term used is what? Slander and to humbug the government. Yeah? So it's just a few people a few government that didn't sign. But then the truth is that the reason why they didn't sign too is because they don't have enough sense. They can't understand and they don't realize the amount of benefits that could come to their countries. Yeah? This was part of what Mr. Andal said earlier on. And then I heard some of the countries that didn't sign was Jamaica. Some of the countries that didn't sign was Trinidad and Tobago. It's almost the same as you telling me in St. Lucia. St. Lucia must seek good people to represent them.
People
because
who
I
live
don't
in
think
St. Lucia.
that, tell me again?
You see people who live in St. Lucia. Go on.
I didn't hear exactly what. Yeah. So I'm saying that when he in St. Lucia he made his statement, what he's saying no about Trinidad and Jamaica and a few of the other countries in the Caribbean, that they don't realize the benefits that they could get from signing such agreement, that they didn't sign it, and they thinking also on those people that trying to destabilize them. trying to run them down for signing the agreement. Now, on one hand, he said they didn't sign it. They really didn't agree to sign it. The Prime Minister would have said so. But then he's saying we had more sense than those that didn't sign. The rest of those that didn't sign. What kind of thing you give me then? When you tell me Trinidad don't have enough sense, Trinidadian and Jamaican, they don't have enough sense. So we're leading the way in the Caribbean in signing the agreement and still hiding and say we didn't want to sign it because I don't understand that one. Can you explain something to me, please? Explain, please. Thanks.
Alright. Play what Mr. Andal say for me again.
Now, in our case, I believe that the first controversy came about because of, I won't even call it a misunderstanding. A couple of Wednesdays ago, I was engaged at the Parliament in a meeting of the House Committee.
Right.
Prior to that, I had an engagement with the Chinese ambassador. And immediately following the House Committee meeting, the Prime Minister and I hosted a press conference.
Right.
So what happened then is that while I was engaged and virtually incommunicado for that period, our ambassador in Brussels had signed the agreement.
Right.
So in response to a reporter's question, I had said, no, we had not signed.
So, Mr. Andal look clear the air. What he telling us is the agreement was signed without the knowledge of him and the Prime Minister. So how you could have an ambassador signing an agreement of that magnitude, Devon? Because what he's saying there is the agreement was signed without his knowledge.
He's trying to convince people of that. But
so if that happens, if that happen, he has to go. You incompetent cockistocracy. He's one of the least suitable person for the office. Let's take the call.
Good afternoon and welcome.
Under the nutmeg tree.
Under the tree. Under the tree.
Greater Carrico and Petit Magnet. By now, you all should understand, I understand that a long time, but I want the nation to understand that Deacon is a poor people terrorist. Deacon Mitchell is a poor people terrorist. And Brother Handel, let me tell you something. I used to live Northwest and go on camping for you in Stockton Shanty Mill. I know you mean good for the people. But right now you end up at number 10. You create political suicide. So brother, in the NDC, right? If going down road in the NDC, you are the only man in the NDC have a degree in political science. So why you leave Deacon people terrorists to fool you? Man, come out there and go. Come out there and go. Thank you, Soya.
Yeah, because Andal own words, Devon. He don't know. You guys say he didn't know. But what the question is, did you, Mr. Andal as a government, agree to sign the document? Or did the ambassador do it on his own? That's what you have to clear up. All this thing what you're going to say there, you're trying to spin, but you don't make it no sense. But you throw Terry under the bus, yeah? Because Terry said was a misunderstanding. He said there was no misunderstanding.
Well, I would say my conclusion to that, short and sweet. Mr. Andal, our foreign minister, and the prime minister decided to come to that press conference and lie to the Grenadian people. Because no way you cannot tell me, with the time difference between Grenada and Brussels, right, that both of them would not have known that that agreement would have been signed before they sit.
Who gave the instruction to the ambassador?
When they come and sit on that table to give that press conference. So bottom line, they both are the biggest foolish and dirtiest liars Grenada ever have. Good afternoon and welcome. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Hello, Master Carl, and hello, Devon and the Igwe. But Devon, you listen to what the ambassador just said. I just listened to the last what coming from the ambassador mouth. The ambassador letting the prime minister tie him up.
He's
not a stupid man. He knows they must give the orders first before whosoever has to sign this document. They must give the man the orders. The man not a crazy man. He can overrule the government and do what he wants. So then why you come in and tell people now, I went to a meeting with the Chinese somewhere, so on his way he forgot to ask the man to sign if he don't ask him to sign, because he's not telling us, up to now he's not telling us that he give the orders to sign it. Up to now he's not telling the Grenadian people that he, Joseph Andal, get the orders from the Prime Minister and he give it to the ambassador to sign it. He's not saying he restrained from saying that part of it. Who gave him the orders to sign? So, let the ambassador, by phone or what, talk to the Grenadian people and tell the Grenadian people who he get the orders from. Because he cannot sign it on his own. And the Prime Minister is ducking. That's why he asked Joseph Andal to answer the first question.
The more you try to cover up a lie, the more you have to lie, you know.
But it is a lie. And why come up with this shiny thing you know? He should never do that. He should never come to the Grenadian people with that as an excuse.
That is a low blow. That's a low blow by the foreign minister.
It's either you want to get out or you want to go more deep in it. But who give the ambassador the orders? Not about time difference. I don't care about that. Who give him the orders? Up to now, they cannot tell us who give him the orders to sign it. So if once they don't tell us that, we know they're lying. Anyhow, guys, have a good one.
All right, my friend. Have a blessed evening.
Who give them the order to sign?
Now we want to know.
Joseph, you don't say nothing.
Yeah, you don't say nothing.
The ambassador go talk, you know, because they throwing the ambassador under the bus. So he gonna talk, or people around him will talk.
Pressure reaching up there. A kakistocracy.
Everything we say they proving us right.
I cannot understand that
I never see that yet.
Two grown men will sit in front of the Grenadian people and they basically plan that lie, you know. Look at Andal come and talk on himself. I mean, how stupid these guys are. I don't understand. They're getting from bad to worse. They're getting from bad to worse. When you keep on lying, you have to continue to lie to cover up that lie and lie.
But Devon is this too, eh? 91, you are the real boss.
The real boss. You understand? This program, Independent Talk and everything is exposing them. Good afternoon. Good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Grenada Caracon Piti Matney. Master Carl. Good Chivoy and Brother Devon. Good afternoon.
Thanks, darling.
Mr. Watson and his wife and Patty in Canada always listening, and also to my son. You know, I've been listening y'all from the time y'all come on, eh? And they were speaking about the toilet. The Prime Minister talking about the toilet. I want Mr. Deacon Mitchell to know they use the parents use the toilet. So not because now you become a Prime Minister in Grenada, you want to condemn all of y'all inside of that parliament. Ministers, use the toilet, and are your mother, your grandmother use the toilet? I don't know. All your head get too big for all your body. You know, to be condemning the toilet now. You understand? And I don't understand this lies that a big man as y'all, lying for people in this country. And one of the former callers say he think they're going. Are they going to go? God in charge of this country. Almighty God in charge, Mr. Deacon Mitchell. Or you go. Even if you spend it 5 years, or you must go. This is what I have to tell all you today. And I don't understand this thing all you want to sign for this homosexual thing in Grenada. We don't custom with this thing. This kind of lifestyle. You understand? That lifestyle that you want to push down in people's throat. Young people, I don't understand. We don't custom with that. God destroy a whole nation, Mr. Deacon Mitchell. A whole nation. With this man going with man and woman going with woman. What kind of life? And most of y'all inside they have children. Or they have girl children and boy children. You want your daughter come and tell you that this is my girlfriend? What kind of life is that? What kind of thing is that in this country? What kind of thing going on in our country? And none of the pastors, Pastor Simon, are calling out on you this afternoon. I call out to you, Pastor Simon, to say something. Come out and speak. As well you just come on the radio in the morning to speak with your word. Come out and say something, sir, concerning this homosexual. Man go married to man in Grenada. This is not our culture. That is not our culture in this country. Look at what's going on in Grenada right now. People is suffering. People is suffering in this country. At time as now, every day you see young people begging. Young, old begging. We need jobs. We need jobs. There's a young lady last week that was going down to the hospital, and I don't know, they say, or somebody tell me that, was pregnant, and she lost the baby. Always she stopped. But when they reach in Victoria, the nurses and them can't help. She reach in Grand Roy, they can't help her. When she reach in Happy Hill, Waterback bus, child die. The child died on the way coming down. Because the nurses and them can't help. They don't have what they don't have in the health center. I don't know. I don't know what they have inside it because I afraid to go in the hospital. I graduated on the pain home. People dying. We need, under NSB, all used to get on. Grenadians used to say things. Nobody's speaking now. A lot of us come out to church this morning and we know the wrong things that go on in Grenada and nobody's speaking. Tomorrow morning you go get a call in and Shaggy, my beloved Prime Minister. My beloved Prime Minister, I want you all to tell him to let Mr. Lacquette know that they need some medication. The nurses and them need help in the hospital. They want medication there. And the police and them need more money than the $60 all you put on the salary. A policeman tell me that. He told me, Scammy, it's $60 they give us. They might have their way, but it does work. Them mothers, they outside all hour in the night. As somebody say, oh God, they call in the police. Look how much money they say all you get paid. I ain't see all you do nothing with it yet. I ain't see all you put on nothing. All what you painting is bridge, black and white. So we have to mourn. We have to mourn for Grenada. Mr. Deacon Mitchell, be careful what you are doing in this country. God is in charge. Almighty God in charge, Mr. Deacon Mitchell and Mr. Andal. And make sure the Speaker of the House, when you hear Mr. Dr. Mitchell go to speak on Wednesday, I don't tell him shut up and sit up, you know. I hope so, because we will be coming down. We the Grenadian people will be coming in Parliament to tell him shut up and sit down because you have no respect. No respect. Some of you have no respect. The Speaker, the Adventist man. Have a good evening. I will say things that are right to say, and they will pick me up. Have a good evening, Grenada.
All right, Cammy. Have a wonderful evening.
We don't want this thing in this country.
All right.
We don't want that.
Want that.
Yeah, and to reiterate Cammy's point, I want to tell our learned persons out there, right? I just hope that when the issues come up with coming to teach our children about same-sex and gays and all these things in school. I hope most of you will stand up.
Hope they could stomach it.
Stand up and tell them that is not right. You would not be a vessel to transport their iniquities. I hope you guys will do that. We await to see. You know, because this thing is not just so.
Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon. Hello?
Next Sunday.
Good afternoon and welcome.
Yes, how are you fellas doing today?
Good afternoon.
I agree with some of the sentiments expressed by Kami because I find it is very disrespectful for the speaker. You can't tell someone shut up and sit down. The gentleman is the leader of His Majesty's opposition. And I remember in the NDC, I think it was Galway, that tell Nazim Bok when he was in the Senate, shut up and sit down too. But one thing, even though two wrongs don't make a right. So I condemn the whatever people do, but you can't do that. I am asking you to be respectful to the leader of the opposition when he makes his speech in Parliament, and equally saying to Keith Mitchell that there's a lot of issues that I think we need to trash out with the Samora, just everything about the budget. So please, don't just make your presentation and run up as per usual. You hear me talking about all that time. Stay right through, because I want some explanation too about the Fiscal Responsibility Resilient Act, however you call it, because that was very important. That bill was passed, and Keith Mitchell just made his presentation and he run on, but I thought that he should have stayed and peruse it more and give us more. So please, don't run out. We want to hear you really, really grill the government, because there's a lot of issues that people not happy about. I take what I'm telling you. People not happy about a lot of things. Please, stay in for the whole time, because I'm paying you. It's disrespectful to run out. But also, I want to talk about, did I hear a call say that Andal apologized on behalf of the Prime Minister? I don't know if I hear correctly for the statement. Did he apologize today, fellas? On behalf of, because I didn't get it clear because they're done so confusing already. Did he apologize? What exactly did Andal say?
We will play the clip so you go here.
Right, okay, because, yes, because I was wondering about that. But the bottom line is that you lie. You lie. So, yeah. Also, just want to zero in on one thing about the heads, because I mentioned it on Shaggy program, and some apologists, because I ain't apologizing. Everybody know I'm an NDC, but unfortunately or fortunately, how you want to put it, I'm still giving them blows, and if they do something wrong, they do something wrong. Because I have no apologies for, because in June, Keith Mitchell time, I give him some real blaze for the passport, and you turn it wrong now, and you're doing the same thing. Everything that they condemn Keith Mitchell for, they're doing it. So I go blaze all you. But I want to just zero in on the health, because somebody had called me, and I spoke about it already, from the mental home. I don't know the person, but they always listen to me, and they say they find her brave and intelligent and so on and whatnot. So they was afraid to go and say these things on the radio, so they asked me. And they was talking about, I said, why call me? I will do it. Because the victimization. And I am saying to the government, I cannot understand. You condemn Keith Mitchell saying he victimized people, but yet still are hearing victimizations left, right, and center, mainly among the contract workers, the daily paid workers, and the temporary workers. So it seems to me that victimization is still rampant. And you talk about the passport too. He was the biggest con man, and you're doing the same thing, so I can't trust you. No, the health, what a person is calling, the term is that there is that right now there's no water tank in the hospital. Now, mainly these are allegations that cannot be, that I was unable to verify, so I don't know, only saying what a person tell me. So let's just treat it as an allegation. Nawasa took the water for 2 days in River Road recently, right? And they didn't have a water tank because Nawasa took, because there's some broken line. So I'm not flagging Nawasa. They're doing the work. If you hear a thing that was the patients couldn't bathe for 2 days, that is what the person telling me. The toilet was overflowing. I mean, it was just a disaster. You want to tell me you can ask St. George's University, Hubbards, one of these corporate people, Grenlec, to donate a tank and keep Mitchell. They used to have people donating things. Clarice Mothers used to have people donating all kind of things. I'm sure you all remember that. You can't ask the diaspora or whoever it is, and you're big and bad, you know. So to a simple water tank that people complaining about, a big hospital like the men's institution, and I must sit down there and not talk about that. No. That you wouldn't see on a green donkey. And then they also reported that the place is overcrowded, and they're mixing the Carlton home patients with the mental home patients, which is a recipe for disaster. But worse, that all of these people are lying on the floor with a blanket, and when it rains, the blanket is soaked. They say not even have a mattress on the ground or a sponge, you know. But what kind of a government is that? The party was formed by George Britton, who's supposed to be putting people first and caring. What, I mean, don't you have a conscience? If these allegations are true, that people sleeping on the floor, all of them mixed up together. What about when the toilet overflow with no water, so mess everything on the same floor? Come on, man. Anne-Marie cannot sit down in my conscience and not talk about it. I don't care who vexed. I have to speak about these things. You have to, and then what they're talking about, their beloved prime minister and those people that apologizing for them with some flimsy and stupid excuse, saying about Keith Mitchell there for a long time. He didn't do it. I don't care whether Keith Mitchell was there or not there. The fact is that you are dealing with it now, and I and Marie say, fix it. That is, you have to fix it. So hold on. What is so thing in getting out a water tank? You have to check on, there are certain things, my friend, that you have to check on your priorities. And your priorities is these things. You can't have people sleeping on the floor at a big mental institution. I say shame on all you. I have no apologies for saying shame on NDC.
All right, Mr.
Right?
Mary.
If this allegation is true, if this allegation is true, I'm calling on the government. You fix it. And people stop blaming Keith Mitchell. I say fix it and fix it right now.
All right. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening. There are so much issues that is so minor that can be dealt with. But instead, we see all sorts of shenanigans and so making all sorts of pronouncements. And so, I await tomorrow budget presentation by the finance minister. Because there's a lot of things that we as a people need to pay attention to. I urge persons to pay attention, listen, and also listen to the opposition response so you can analyze, looking at the two sides, and so you can analyze and make sense out of that budget presentation. Good afternoon. Good afternoon and welcome.
Devon, I just come back in for not for long. Miss Anne-Marie said she want Dr. Mitchell to stand up and don't make anything and walk. The reason why sometimes he has to walk away, they're very disrespectful to him. He's a big man. And you have time when the man speaking, Ron telling him, swing him along on his chair and tell him shut him out. The speaker had to tell him something. Others, they're too disrespectful. And if it's me, as a big woman, and people speaking to me like that, I will walk away. So that's the reason why he said what he had to say and he had to go. But they have to be very careful on Wednesday, the 6th of December, how they handle him inside that house.
All right.
You have to be very careful how they handle him inside that house. Because we know what is going on. They don't want to give him no time to speak. They don't want him to speak. Where are you afraid him? So I'm warning all you. I'm warning the speaker, the Adventist pastor. I'm warning all you. Because the jail will not be able to hold everybody.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Thank you, Cami. And Cami made an excellent point when it comes to the whole question of respect and so in Parliament. You have a group of young politicians who is bent on continue to disrespect the opposition leader and other members of the opposition. But you will not, watch, your mother always tell you, that you keep on being disrespectful, you can't reach nowhere, You understand? You have an air about you and you feel you know it all. But when it comes to respect for your elders and respect for what is right, and you keep making pappy show of that, watch what will happen to you. Yes. Good afternoon and welcome.
Hey, Devon. Good afternoon, brother.
Yes, my brother. Good afternoon.
Devon,
Yes, sir.
it is what up for you. So listen to somebody come and tell you what somebody say, and you allowing them to get on like that. Somebody tell her something, say she don't know if it's true or not. The person could lie here, and she go and say, I believe this woman is a lie. And if
But that watch me, hold on. But that is your view, and we not we
somebody
listen
can
to
talk
me.
on something and go tell you.
Listen to me, right? That is your view. She has a right to make a contribution, right? If you want to dispute it, bring your facts, right? But we will not. But we will not allow you to continue to malign other colors because they made their contribution. If you do not, if you do not agree, bring the facts. Without talking about she's lying, bring the facts and say, look, this is what she said, this is the facts. We're not here to make a melee of others' contribution.
There were no back.
Good afternoon.
No
and
black
welcome.
flying boards. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon and welcome.
Thank you. I just, what's going on? Hello?
Yeah, we're listening to you.
Sorry. I just, you know, the prices of in the grocery shop keep going up.
Of course.
The price of a box of chicken gone up. Maybe it might be 160 before the end of the year. But I just at a loss of words with what's happening in Grenada. Since the National Democratic Congress came into office, it has been one after the other with issues. And right now, people are choking with the issues. They're ready to vomit because of the amount of nonsense, one after the other. No, they have not relented. And the saddest part is that their people, are just stifling it down. Nobody's saying anything. I'm wondering if it's because of the fact that they have an issue with Kit Mitchell, so they will take anything just to make sure that either DAF or the New National Party don't come back in power. So anything this government do, they have nothing to say. They have nothing to be mad about. Especially with what I'm disappointed with is the Samoa agreement that was signed. And you have the ministers coming and tell you 1 minute they tell you they don't know, no signing, and next minute you hear interest for tell you, what? He didn't know or something like that. I mean, come on. This is unacceptable. You have people going and sign. They could have signed us away. They could have signed us into slavery. You didn't even notify Grenadians that the Samoa agreement is brought forward and that you're going to look at it and we're having discussion. Nothing. You just go ahead and sign an agreement, and you come and you're lying still. And you know what? You know what it is? Grenadians still sit down and not as if it's okay. This is not okay. This is not okay. You can't just go and sign something like that and then come and lie and say you're not signing it and then have a whole discussion on morality and all this kind of nonsense. Christmas coming up, and I don't know how people making it for Christmas. It's gonna be I don't know. If the remittance is not coming, the remittance is gonna help some people, and maybe a 2 barrel. Otherwise, to that, the cost of living in Grenada, nobody addressing it. But here you have the government ministers putting out some nonsense to distract people from the fact that the Samoa agreement was signed without any consultation or anything. You put out a thing saying that ministers is going to be increased by more than half. And again, it's okay. It's okay. Cost of living going up, minister salary going up, but no job the government creating for anybody. There's no job creation in Grenada right now by the government of Grenada, right? And you have I mean, I don't know, and we just sit down and say, it's okay. And no time now, so it was dog that do something like that. The streets filled with people in demonstration, either one man demonstration or you have a few people demonstrating in Parliament or whatever. But I mean, come on, this is not okay, Grenada. This is not okay. Signing a document increasing minister salary at a time like now. At a time you're going to increase Lacrette's salary, and the Ministry of Health is in shambles. Not the ministry, I mean, there's no, that you go to medication in the surgery, there's no medication there, right? In the hospitals, they're cramming to see if they have the gauze, that, the other. I mean, you're going to increase that man's salary and you're not doing nothing? You're going to increase Karen James' salary and she's not doing nothing? You're going to increase, I'm not even giving Andy Williams crap because it's just photo. Is he actually impacting the people on the ground, the poor people on the ground, the real poor people on the ground? And then you come and say, I mean, you increasing salaries of ministers in less than 2 years. Have they performed for it?
$7,000. $7,000 in the space of 18 or 19 months.
19 months now.
What have they performed? What is their perform? I mean, you don't necessarily. I mean, come on.
They don't
Why
care.
are you doing that?
They don't care.
And that's what I'm telling you. They have the people that are not speaking out are the ones that will take anything up their backside because they don't want NNP or they don't want Doc come back there. So they're taking anything. They're not going to say nothing. They're not going to dispute or anything what's going on in Grenada right now. So increasing salaries, increasing a box of chicken. Nobody not looking. And let me tell you, before I go, the doctors and the nurses are disgruntled. They are disgruntled because of this piece of information that the ministers are going to get an increase in salary when they were promised permanent and an increase in salary.
All right, my dear.
So they are disgruntled. Look out.
Before you
have a good day.
Caller.
Yes.
What's your take on the messing outside situation?
No, I mean, more and more again, you're seeing that this man, Dickon Mitchell, cares nothing about Grenadians. Nothing, especially the people on the ground. I think he might be born with a gold spoon in his mouth, so you don't understand. He probably born rich, so you don't understand what it is to start from poverty, come up. Because he's not humble at all. He's not even humbling. He's just going on a high horse. How you could tell me that somebody who could have afforded to put bathroom and toilet in their house deserves to have the house repaired over somebody who cannot afford to put bathroom and toilet? I mean, there are houses in Grenada still that needs repair, that don't have bathroom and toilet. So you're going to deny these people. You're going to deny them that right to housing repair over well, I mean, that shouldn't be anything new. Look what they did to the housing project, the apartments. They give the people the letters to go to the bank, knowing very well that some of them would not be able to get that loan. And they're going to give it, I'm sure they're going to sell it to people who could afford. Who is all you, these poor people, Grenadians? Who is all you? That's how the government operating with us now. Who is all you? Where are you come up? Why are you begging? What do you want? That's how this government operated with us in Grenada, you know. But really poor people but not, I don't want to talk about we. These same poor people go and stick their finger for them. We had them in 1990 to 1995. We had them in 2008, 2013. And you all felt the struggles people are going through, and you are still going to vote for a government whose ideology is not for the poor man. You're still going to vote for them, and you're still calling and defending people like them. You can't call and defend these people and them. How you could do that? Look what they're doing to you. Everything they do is against you. You want to stick your finger for them. I hope you know the next round what to do. Have a wonderful day.
All right.
What the numbers to call Igwe?
4420175, and we have a call on the WhatsApp.
Let's take it.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Hey, Devon and Carl. Good afternoon. How is everybody doing?
Good, man.
Yeah. Let me just say this. On Wednesday, I find they have something up their sleeve because they know the people will come out on Wednesday. So they will try their best to keep people out of parliament. But I just want to say up front, this is the people's house, not all your private apartment. So this is the people's house. The people have every right to come in and sit down. Second of all, I want to tell the opposition MPs, stand solid behind your opposition leader. Even if you can pound the table with your hand hard,
Slap
walk
it.
with a light hammer
Yeah,
and
something.
pound the table. No, I'm serious about that. Pound the damn table. Because some of them, you see all of them, I mean, I could give Tanti Emmeline pay and, because she do she surgery and she had. But the rest, Tanti Clarice, Sister Kate, Peter, all you pound the table, pound it hard because I don't see with them boys and them they talking all this stupidness and you see how they supporting on the table, they pong the table, pong the table. You have 5 of all in the house, pong the table, pong it because Dr. Mitchell going to make some very valid and important points and he's going to expose some hidden information what is the plan hiding in the budget. So therefore we have to stand up solid behind him and every opposition MP, whenever you stand up to make a contribution, the rest who sitting now, pong the table, pong it, pong it, pong it. It's just as I pong it, make me leg with some expression, pong it with a passion. You understand? Because there are a lot of people. There's a lot of people going through stress. You see people going and what certain things I see what they're doing on Facebook and any kind of thing. People they on stress. People things are not happening to the way it ought to. And trust me, people are going through Grenada are in a lot of trouble. Because come on, let us jump into this some more thing what they say. You speaking, man, I well convinced. Well, I say we're Grenada, let me see what Grenada have to come because you say you were not signing and you will not sell our celebrity whatever it is. They say we don't sell and let me don't go and use them people be good. You say you wouldn't sign our integrity away. Why you talking this thing already signed? Because if this country they 4 hours, 5 hours in front of us, these things signed long since before these people come in parliament and talk coming and lie. I ain't taking for none of them. Why you come in and lie and say that will never do and that will never happen when you know and don't go on heartbeat and say you and sorry, if I didn't listen to the program because I don't listen that. But don't go on heartbeat if what Clifford say it is true. Don't go on heartbeat and say you're apologizing. Come straight to the Grenadian people. Hold a press conference and come straight to the Grenadian people and say, look, I am apologizing on the behalf of what we do. I am taking full responsibility for what we do. Come out and hold a press conference. Let the press people question you and don't duck from your question. And don't can say, oh, it's 2 questions and 1 question you're taking. Stay there and jam yourself in a corner and take your blows on them. Take your questions on them and answer them. Yeah? And if you is a man of integrity, he will answer your question and you will come out and apologize. Big man apologize. But the damage already done. How would you unfix that? How you will fix that what you unfix? The damage already done. So you go see my 11-year-old child coming home and say, Daddy, I want to be a man. Hey, that's going to be hell breaking in a house.
You have to go and sleep.
Yeah. Hey, partner, don't make you no joke with that.
All right, my brother.
All right.
How could you make joke?
I'm more callers waiting, brother.
Anyway,
yeah,
I understand. A lot making. Have a good evening.
Take care.
Have a next call on the landline again.
Yes.
Let's take him.
Good afternoon, welcome.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Yes, good afternoon.
I'm calling concerning the members of parliament. The members of parliament didn't just elect themselves. They was elected by the masses. 80-something thousand of us was registered to, and 50-something of us cast our ballot, either for green, for yellow, or for whoever we choose to cast our ballot. When we reach inside, and everybody in a level playing field, isn't that so, brethren?
That's what it's supposed to be. In
So
Parliament.
why when in Parliament, and Parliament represent we, the people? Everybody they represent, if it's 5,000, 6,000, 10,000, much of it depends on who casts the ballot.
Yeah, you're right.
So how come when the leader of the opposition, who representing over 20-something thousand, and plus those who did not vote, wavering and still making up their mind, they represent them. So how come those who in leadership now want to tell the leaders of opposition to keep quiet and stay quiet? So when they stay quiet, what happening to us? We have to stay quiet too.
Over 30,000 people have to remain silent.
So we have to stay silent and just putting on our throat and not swallow it.
Well, that is what they're saying eventually.
So when they come and all of us choose to come down in Parliament, they go stop us?
30,000 of us. 30,000 of us going down to Parliament if they want that.
The opposition have to speak for those who cannot speak for themselves. Those who cannot speak for themselves, that's what the opposition leaders are there for. The Prime Minister go all the way in St. Vincent, in St. Lucia, and say how when they get into power, and they must play that clip too. We are government by default, unless he is himself, him, those who ministers. Look, they're not seeing us. Those who cannot, am I able to take care of me, you know? But what about those who can't help themselves? Even in the road work, there is confusion. Even in the road work, there is confusion right now, Papa.
Serious problem.
Make it make sense.
Petlin.
The opposition are representing us, the people, those who cannot go in Parliament and listen. Right now, the way white people can listen on the radio. Need to know. They fly in. The people getting green passport, red passport, yellow passport. I don't know who else getting clown passport. They call us clowns. They call us classless. They can't even associate with the classless people. Look what he's saying. How much millions we have to pay at the end of the year for him. And people are not seeing that. Even in St. Lucia, they had a demonstration after what the Prime Minister made, the authority made in St. Lucia. The people came out and demonstrate because they want answers. Are you calling us who live in here that we cannot partake what you want in the diaspora to get 3,000 persons who live in diaspora? Who knows some of them can come back? So one cast the vote when they depend on the diaspora to come and break them win election in 2027 if they live to see that day. Really, and open up all your eyes.
Time alone will tell.
Day,
all right. Time alone will tell. But you know, I want to. Yes, let's take the call.
Hello on the WhatsApp. Hello. All right, that one.
No,
I just.
Hello.
Hello, Master Call.
Right.
Hey. Yeah, go on.
Hey, Devon.
Yes, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Yes, I didn't know I did get through yet. Okay, Master Call, good evening. And you all good evening there. Good evening to the listening public. Yeah. My concern is not about the guys that taking money off of the poor people. My concern is about this guy that is blatantly lying to talk about a blatant liar. In spicing the honorable represented spicing people against the workers, poor people, children again. They did not get what they was expecting in return for salary, an upgrade of salary, and payment for time work. Again, that's another one that hitting
us here in Grenada. So how can he represent the poor strata of our country? How can he give service to the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Pitimati? I am baffled. You say you promise, you come out and boast and say $200 more for the seed, $500 for the imani, but you basically shut down bathroom and toilet program. You know, a caller mentioned that he must be grew up in a wealthy family. No, he come out from poor people children. And I know him very well. He comes from poor people children, but he lived with the upper class for a while. So he's upper class oriented. So he does not know how to treat the less fortunate in this country. That's why he can increase the salaries of 18 months over $7,000 to benefit the upper class of this country. And these are the issues that face us. These are the things that we supported in the last general election. A few have to die for plenty to live. So the poor people will suffer for the rich ones to live. This is the kind of style of government we have to do. These are the issues that face Grenada, Carriacou. Over a year now, they started building a bathroom and toilet. They has no knowledge, no know-how. One bathroom and toilet is over $1 million, and they cannot finish it yet. What is happening to poor people, children? What is going to happen in the next few weeks? As a good friend said to me, the season is coming, but the preparation is not there. These are the culture of our country. Now, when the man speak about he cannot enforce certain agreements on the culture and the laws of our people, that was a blatant lie. Now, when are we going to come straight? When are we going to stop bending and get straight? In inverted commas, get straight now. Calling on the authority to be straight with people and don't make things, jingle things in front of some people's eyes. They can follow it. No. In so doing, brothers, we have to be prepared mentally. We have to be strong. We have to take up the mantle and continue to fight the cause of our people. Those who cannot speak. And I could testify, a lady has to leave her house because she cannot pay the electricity bill and the water in her house because they removed the 150. She is now in a home. That is what this new administration is going for. Some people are just there for the dry ride to get a big salary and does nothing for it. I have no problem, to get the salary, but they must not tell us lies. They must stop tell us lies. Straight. Like Lemon and Master the straight.
All
That
right,
is what
caller.
I advocate this afternoon. Gentlemen, have
Well,
a
thanks
nice
for your
day.
contribution.
Right, wonderful.
Devon?
You have 7, 8, 9. I could give you 9 minutes.
Yeah, we still can entertain one.
You are clip for me, you know.
You want it?
Yes.
Give us the clip before we end.
The people are them so busy around here.
I want to say, Mr. Speaker, just finally to speak to a concern raised by the member for St. Mark, that in fact, going forward, this administration does not intend to embark upon home repairs or home building programs that do not have bathrooms and toilets affixed.
I'm about to call on the WhatsApp all day. Hello?
Good afternoon. Hello?
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Coming through, man. The WhatsApp have a delay.
Yeah, good afternoon. Go ahead.
Apparently. How y'all guys doing?
I
was
good.
hoping and waiting patiently for the budget presentation to hear certain things that I've been hearing from the radio. But I happened to look at a Facebook post where the Prime Minister apparently in an NDC meeting giving the pronunciation to the government, to the nation, coming, well, is the Prime Minister, so it must be coming from the government, that there's a increase in salary for Imani workers and what money that is put on the seed people's allowance, I might call it. I have a problem with that. And I've always had a problem with government using party to do official pronunciations. I had a problem when Kit Mitchell was in power in this country. I have a problem right now showing up over and over again. Hello. Official pronunciations of that sort should come from a government. It's like when you go into a press conference as a minister, whether you're the prime minister or other, as you might say, lesser ministers, but they are equals, as you might know it, because he's the force among equals, as you might say it, or as it is normally said. Here we have a problem. When it is used for political mileage, so that it's like NDC is announcing an increase for the workers. But here is the big confusion that's showing up. I'm still hearing, not from the budget presentation, and he didn't actually did it, the Prime Minister didn't do it in the press conference, in the meeting that he had, with all the yellow jerseys and yellow shorts and whatever, yellow clothes showing up. He was in yellow too. I didn't hear he talk about the 70 at least % thereabout increase in minister's salary. I'm hoping to hear it tomorrow. And actually hoping that this radio station would bring the whole budget presentation. I say the whole budget presentation, because I'm always prepared to listen to these things. I don't know if I'll go in tongue tomorrow. And if I go in tongue, I would go in the parliament, hopefully. But I hope to hear it, at least even if I'm outside of the parliament, I could hear it on my phone or my radio, as you might say. But here is the problem. If we're going to continue to have pronouncement coming from the authorities in this country, where the people doesn't have a say in it, to the extent that you have a 70% increase thereabout in minister's salary, when in negotiation coming from the trade union people for the workers to get 5 and 7% and so on increase, incremental, you know. And at the same time, negotiation had to be made. You have to have negotiation for it. But automatically, the ministers are going to go put up salaries on there. How do you explain this kind of thing? Is that democratic or dictatorship? What is going on in this country? What is going on, generally speaking, you might say? So that to the extent that we have to deal with that, people need to wake up and smell the coffee, as I said. There's something absolutely wrong about that. Watch me. I've always had a problem, all the years, saying that ministers are not working for much money in this country. Compared to other countries, no problem with increase. But here, if I, for example, I am a public service workers union person working in the public service, I have to fight for a 4%, 5% negotiation increase. And that takes a whole lot of negotiation. Where is the democracy? Okay, in the fighting process, there's a democratic process going on. Where's the democracy in the process of minister just automatically, you might say, increasing the salary up to 70%, thereabout, from $9,000, $9,000, and there's a mistake I think I keep hearing on the news coming from that radio station. There's a $8,000 to $9,000 up to $14,000. If it is $9,000, say $9,000. If it is $8,000, say $8,000. Not from 8 to 9 and 14. Because I thought it was 89 at first that was being said, and then it goes up to 14. But hello, you're talking about a $5,000 increase? How do you explain that kind of thing?
More money than the average working Grenadian.
I'm hoping tomorrow to hear things clear. Take care, gentlemen.
All right. You ever know we winding it up? So take your first crack at it.
Yes. Well, as we enter this program, very, very exciting and informative. However, I'll leave you with three things. First of all, we have to stop sugarcoating what the Prime Minister and the Minister of Foreign Affairs did to the Grenadian people. Mm-hmm. They lie. They lie. They damn lie. They damn lie. And they have to stop that for some big men. And they have children. Mm-hmm. They continue lying so to the public. That means they keep on lying to their children like that. Mm-hmm. They have to stop that. Right? Secondly, right, I want to, the whole question of this salary and everything like that. And the caller just made that point. I am watching the trade unions, right, and their action as they move forward when it comes to negotiation. Because, you get a little 4 and 5 and perhaps 10%. But there you have a government within 18 months take over 100%, right, of salary. I hope you're paying attention to that. And finally, Grenadians, this week is budget. We have to pay attention to it.
Come out.
And if by some form that the government or the ruling party decides to basically hinder the support of the opposition, we are coming down there in our thousands. Yeah, and remember, that hill that parliament is standing on is sacred. Remember, the Grenadian people, what was not stopped in 1983 from going up there and take out their prime minister.
And
release their prime minister. So we are warning you, don't try to hoodwink and do whatever to the opposition, because the people will come out at you in that parliament building. We will come out and demonstrate and show you what people's power is all about.
Mm-hmm. So, Igor, listen to this. Mm-hmm. Budget tomorrow, please God. Mm-hmm. But we're hearing information start to circulate that political gamesmanship is going on. They're trying to push the response of the opposition to Thursday.
Here already?
But here what they doing? They calling people in River Sally and tell them put funeral for 3 o'clock. I see a man like Parang by so ourselves. Chatters on the street, they calling people and tell them put funeral for 3 o'clock. So they're trying to subvert the response to the budget. So if you hear they move it from Wednesday to Thursday, we still going Thursday.
Mm-hmm. And if they move it to Friday, we still going.
They could put it on Sunday and all be going.
They die.
So I tell them already, if August tongue near to Mona,
They die.
they can't tell us nothing but don't go, you know.
Nope.
I tell you, they die.
And I know because the Grenadian public during the last election said they wanted a good opposition. So that's the only good thing that come out of that election. They have a good opposition.
Very good opposition.
And the opposition will give a very good account of itself. I have no fear. But before you go, I want that clip with that toilet women messing outside.
Let me give.
Because hold on, why I want that clip? We want the Grenadian public that these people don't like poor people, children. People say we only talking about poor, we only talking about poor. Here the Prime Minister
Mr. Speaker, just finally to speak to a concern raised by the member for St. Mark, that in fact going forward, this administration does not intend to embark upon home repairs or home building programs that do not have bathrooms and toilets affixed.
We will leave them with that thing.
You tell me candid, they too wicked, far too crooked. That is a frequent comment I hear. Too one-sided, underhand.